Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
K92.3.
Here we are, National Anthem time. This is the way that we start every single morning on the show. On this Friday, here we go.
Today, it's really important. It came across my text feed that Obi Diaz, you today are going to be a guest speaker at your daughter's school. Is that right?
That's right.
No.
So that's right. Both my daughters.
I wanted to give it out to everybody because remember, I got rejected. They chose a dentist at my daughter's school instead of me.
You're still holding on to that?
Listen, yes, without a doubt, I still have some resentment against dentists in general. But I want to say, wow, what an experience that you're going to have today. I'm obviously jealous, but so many people in my life, I remember still the guest speakers, not what they said, but that they actually did motivate me to actually grow up and actually get a job. And today there's going to be countless people that are affected because of you and so many.
Well, I appreciate that. It is a fun opportunity not only to speak on behalf of my career with you guys, because this show, it's obviously the backbone of life today, but also to be there for my daughters. It's kind of cool. So, yes.
Are the girls excited that Dad's coming in today, or do they not know?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So, man, that's so funny because I've got two different girls, right? One is 13, and the 13-year-old was like, Dad, just please don't go long. That was her. And then my daughter, who's 11, she surprised me the most because she said, Dad, just make sure you stay on topic.
Oh,
I was like, yo, both these girls.
And how long?
Both these girls just set me up for life. Jeez.
It's supposed to be how long?
So one of my daughters said that I have like 15 to 20 minutes.
Whoa.
Anybody who knows me, my spiel is like 8 minutes long, man. I can give you the elevator pitch and give it to you fast and potent. So
that'll be fun. And these are memories that the girls will always remember, that Dad was at their school speaking, to their events. So that's awesome of you.
All right, so to anybody who has to guest speak at the kids' schools, whether they're your kids' schools or not, that education that you give those kids, that day that those kids get to essentially get rid of a school subject and get to listen to your speech, to you this morning, the National Anthem.
K92.3.
Doing the right thing. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Kindness goes a long way, and that's why we love doing the right thing, especially as we are getting ready to head into the weekend.
Now, you might not know this. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and a teenager in Nashville launched a big teddy bear toy drive for it. His name is Kenny Royer. He's 17 years old. He's donating them to a nonprofit called the Davis House Child Advocacy Center that works with abused kids. His goal is to make sure that every child that gets the help they need gets to at least take one stuffed animal home with them. Aww. You might not know, over 700,000 children a year are abused at the home. And it's a tough thing as any parent, right? You want a parent. You're not trying to abuse them. You're trying to teach your kid. And Kenny talking about why this meant so much to him.
It's security. It also provides a sense of safety, making sure that they have enough stuffed animals for every child, if not two for every child, is really important. It really shows that kid that they're cared for. That really is why this sort of hits home for me. It's because I know what my family member went through and I know how hard it is.
Wow, man. You said this kid was 17 years old?
Yeah, he's 17 and he came up with this.
And abuse can look so different for so many different kids, whether that's verbal abuse, physical abuse. I know teachers are obviously very much trained up on what to look for with their kiddos when they're in the classroom, when they have certain behaviors happening. And so it breaks my heart that things like this are happening, because how blessed we are to have children. But it's stories like this boy who inspire us.
Yeah, and even though it's in Nashville, the great thing about it is raising awareness for it. And
Absolutely.
thankfully, the last, 25 years, websites have been able to raise so many funds in toys and everything else. I want to put this out there just in case this hits you a certain way. So it's davisHouseCAC.org. They're taking stuffed animal donations, like new stuffed animals, also monetary donations, because, like I mentioned in the beginning, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month.
My heart, I'm going to say this just because we have the platform, okay? Because we are talking about kids and kids being abused and whatnot. It would be remiss of us with this platform to not address, if you are listening right now and this is happening to you and you need help or anything like that, we would like to make ourselves available to that. If you are listening right now and you are doing this, it's always a good time to just stop.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that we use our power here with these microphones for good. I mean, that kid, 17 years old, he's using his power for good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, today, Kenny Royer, for reminding us and actually, like, putting it on the forefront of, like, hey, enough. You don't need to deal with this. And there's a lot of people in your home where you might go, I think my spouse is actually, I don't know what to do. There's plenty of ways to actually help. So thank you, Kenny, for reminding us. This is so important. And today it's doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing. Brought to you by
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors. For more, RBAFLA.com.
Doing the right thing.
on K92.3.
Okay, cool. So now can we pivot to you bandwagoners? And if you're not a bandwagoner, it's a good time to be one. Yeah. All right, we'll tell you in 6 minutes what we're jumping on. All right, it's Obi, Chloe, Slater, K92.3. Just a little heads up that you still have time to sign up if you want to play the $1,000 minute. Now, that's different from us paying your bills. That's just something easy that you can text in to win starting at 8. But this $1,000 minute, you got to have what it takes. I mean, if Chloe throws up, hey, what's the 13th letter of the alphabet? You got to have what it takes to answer those things to get that $1,000.
And everybody knows it's L, right?
I'd have to go A, B, C, D, F, G,
A, B, C, D,
H, I, J. No, it's not L.
It's not.
We even did the fingers too with it. Look, Chloe's still thinking about
it is L.
Yeah.
Right.
Look
You
at
are
that.
right.
Look at that.
Okay, well,
Flying the W.
I'm straight up going to call it. Slater, I think you're a fake fan. I do. I think you're a fake fan. There's
A
something
fake
very
fan?
exciting that's happening this weekend. A lot of people are bandwagoning behind it. I'm all for joining the bandwagon, but I don't know.
Wow, get your hand off his throat.
I like Kenny Chesney. What?
I'm not
You're
talking about
Kenny?
Not talking about Kenny. We're talking about sports, okay? And why Slater is a fake fan, especially wearing that Boston shirt following Luke Bryan.
This is K92.3, Orlando's #1 for new country, paying your bills. $1,000 coming your way at 8 o'clock with that keyword that you're going to text into your K92.3 app. That's it. Okay, so let's get to our Orlando Magic.
All right, yeah, the best team ever, right?
The Orlando...
Ever.
You weren't saying this weeks ago.
You were not.
You were not saying this weeks ago. And all of a sudden, dude wants to come in here, half his face painted in blue, half his face painted in white. Talking about go blue and white.
I woke up
Blue
at
and
2
white at
a.m.
night.
to be dressed like this.
Well, if you're wondering what we are talking about, the Magic are in the playoffs round 1. The first game is tomorrow against the Cavs, 1 o'clock, and they're sitting 5th in the conference, which is huge for the Orlando Magic. Obi, I know you've been a fan of the Magic for years and years and years.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So you've seen them when they weren't great,
Oh, my gosh.
where they've been great, when Shaq was here, and now, I mean, on top of the world.
And my 25 years of broadcast here in the city, beautiful. So it's been interesting, because you've taken on the waves of people who have been fans, and then all of a sudden you get disappointed because the team doesn't do well, and then they do well, and then they trade somebody out, and then they don't do well, and then they do well, and then they...
Sure.
So here we are in the swell of it doing extremely well. We've got some great guys on the team, like Jonathan Isaac, one of my close personal friends, and very excited for the guys, and I don't want to be overly excited because I'm going to say this, and I don't want to piss anybody off, but I just know how our Magic can be sometimes.
Obi.
I love them, and I celebrate, and then all of a sudden your feelings get hurt because of just a bad game here or there, and sometimes that happens.
But this is what they do, and I know Chloe. I know you think that I'm a fake fan because I'm a fan of the Orlando Magic. They're my number 2 team behind my hometown team since I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, the Boston Celtics. Truth be told, almost have more confidence in the Orlando Magic than I do the Boston Celtics because the last couple of years they've been in the playoffs, they've flaked out.
Look what you're wearing today.
why-
He's in a Boston shirt and a Boston hat.
It's blue. It's a blue shirt. Tell me this isn't the Orlando
Where's your
Magic
Magic
colors.
shirt?
That's not even Magic
If you
blue.
were such a huge fan, where's your Magic shirt?
Where's the kids took it?
The kids.
They seriously, every single piece of clothing that's Orlando Magic right now all week, they have been sporting it. They're wearing it as they should because you should champion behind the team.
Right.
And this is the year.
And and that's my son too. He's a super Orlando Magic fan. And so yes, okay, so praying wholeheartedly that not only do they do well in the playoffs, but that they take this thing all the way to the top. I mean, Orlando really, I mean, just it would be so sparkly. It would be so tasty if we had one of those trophies sitting inside our arena.
Sure.
But can we talk about, is it okay to be, because we were talking about bandwagoners.
Right.
Is it okay to be a fan of two teams?
Chloe? Obviously, you don't think that I'm allowed to be.
Chloe just rolled her eyes. Chloe's like ethically thinking live on the air.
I think, like, for me, I grew up a Miami Heat fan. Like, I am a huge Heat fan, and so for me, that's who I rally around.
Because of
I grew up
hometown?
in South Florida, right?
Okay.
That's my hometown team. That's where I was born and raised. But I will champion around the Orlando Magic, especially right now, how well they're playing, right? For the city, for Orlando, for the players, for everybody.
Betterment of the whole.
But for me, I am like Miami Heat all the way. If that makes any sort of sense. I'm like, go Magic as well, but it's Heat are number one to me. So I think you can champion around both, but I think you will always love one team a little bit more than the other.
You'll bleed one more than you will the other.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, Slater.
Yes.
But that's so. I've liked two teams straight through because in radio the last 20 plus years I've lived in 6-7 different states.
Yeah.
So I have had to, especially when I was in the Midwest, because they didn't even have one. So I had to choose a couple states over to actually root for the team that they were championing behind. But I would always do it, and I would just make sure that I knew a couple players on the team. So that way I could be like, look at that. Look
So you
at
could
that.
be well-versed?
They're doing good. Yeah, because like the worst thing, and I've got caught in that before, where I'm like, oh yeah, team's great, blah, blah. Somebody's like, yeah, what do you think about this player? And I'm like,
That's not a true fan.
or then I list somebody off and they're like, yeah, they haven't played for 2 years. It was the tragic incident that happened, and I'm like, oh no, it was terrible.
Well, okay, so I think you've got the okay if, like what Chloe was saying, if the root of where you grew up, like if I was like a New York Knicks fan because I grew up in New York, then that's okay. But here we are in Orlando. Hey, and listen, just like what Slater said, you bounced around to 6 different cities. I guarantee you, if I ended up having to do a morning show in Toledo,
Sure.
then I'd be like, guys, Toledo's number one man. I mean,
the very first thing I did when I moved to Orlando is I went to, Walmart, and I bought a UCF hat.
Go Knights.
And I did that because I wanted to be a fan of UCF. And also I wanted to seem like I knew what was going on because I was learning what was going on in it.
And it's so fun for the city right now, too, with the Magic winning. I drive by every day on I-4 past the Kia Center. They have this massive banner out front for the Magic. And so it's fun to see all the camaraderie, especially people that have been lifelong fans of the Magic, to watch them be in this spot. Like, it's awesome.
Well, so we get a chance right now on the radio, right? And you listening right now, we get a chance to kind of stir up the excitement. So if you have Orlando Magic stickers, if you have those magnets, if you have those Orlando Magic flags that we used to fly from the windows of our cars, let's go ahead and do that.
Absolutely.
Let's do that because the players see that. You know, they are locals. And they see that, and you don't think that gets them excited when they go into the game and they're like, man, today I'm going to play 120%.
Of course it does. So game 1 tomorrow against the Cavs, playoffs, round 1, go Magic. Y'all got this. But up next, which country superstar uses the pet name Tater Tot? Is it A, Luke Bryan, B, Dolly Parton, or C, Reba? The All Access is in 6 minutes.
K92.3. From backstage to the front page, it's All Access.
We'll talk about which one of our country superstars uses a really cute pet name. But first, Dr. Dre's song Gin and Juice. It was released about 30 years ago. Massive, massive hit. Well, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, they have a cocktail line coming out. It's called Gin and Juice. And Hardy shared a photo on Instagram with Snoop Dogg, with Dr. Dre, because he recorded his own version of the song and a short film with them.
Sipping on gin and juice, laid back, with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street,
You know, for somebody like Hardy, And for that generation, that's got to be like a dream come true to be sitting there with Dre and Snoop.
Well, in the photo that Hardy shared, they were on set. They were in costume with Dr. Dre, with Snoop Dogg, and Hardy said, "I'm still in disbelief." Like, he literally doesn't even have the words, because for him, these are guys that he grew up listening to and people that he's looked up to musically. And so now to get to work with them, I mean, it's awesome.
Well, and you can musically respect somebody of a different genre and be like, man, it's so cool. But then to mesh and do a mashup.
Is Hardy's at that point where Snoop Dogg that doesn't remember any of his own name sometimes? he knows who Hardy is. No disrespect to him, but like Snoop's been there. Like, he's been through.
Well, and I think for Hardy, you guys forget, I know right now it's like Hardy's a newer artist for us, but Hardy's been in the business for a very long time. I mean, he's written some humongous hits for guys like Blake Shelton.
Yeah, but does
FGL.
Snoop know that? Does Dre know that?
Well, especially this last year. I mean, Hardy's had just a year for him, and so I think this is so cool. It really is.
Tell me about this boy,
cool.
Hardy.
And Lainey Wilson and her boyfriend, Duck Hodges, former NFL QB for the Steelers. They've been together since 2021, and they're so cute. I love when they walk the red carpet together. He's so sweet. But Lainey was asked when she was on Yellowstone, she had her first kiss ever. If you watch that scene, Duck's reaction to it, and she said, quote, "So I'll be honest with you. I mean, he ain't gonna like me smacking up on nobody. He also knows that I have worked really hard for opportunities, and that's like, at the end of the day, I love you, you love me, and you do what you got to do, and it's work."
And that was probably the beginning part of their relationship.
Very, very beginning.
Yeah. So it would be different now, I would say, because Lainey Wilson, are you an actor if you've only acted in like one thing? Does that make you an actor, Obi? Because I mean, you've acted in the past.
Well, she did several episodes, right?
Episodes, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess by that point you are, because you spent time on a set. Somebody's giving you some coaching advice.
Probably in music videos too, right? Because they got to act in those.
Absolutely.
So that's gonna count.
Yes. And we just love seeing Lainey Wilson in that light. I hope she's a part of some other show sometime soon. And then lastly, Reba is rocking it on The Voice right now. She is a coach. She's doing such a good job. I love seeing the dynamic between her as well as Dan and Shay up there. But her and her boyfriend Rex, they've known each other since the 90s, but it wasn't until 2020 that they actually started dating, and Reba sharing how Rex actually gave her a funny nickname.
"Well, we have tater tots." And I said, I love tater tots. And Rex said, "I'm famous for giving people their nicknames, and that's your nickname." I said, "What?" He said, "Tater tot." So
there you go.
There you go.
Okay, so I think it's so cute because she calls him now Sugar Tot. So it's Tater Tot and Sugar Tot.
You guys have fun pet names that you've used in the past?
No, I've never really had that, but I think it's cute for Reba and Rex.
Yeah, I don't have that going on either. Yeah.
The craziest one that I got right now is Lady Fingers. For really no reason outside. I just really like saying it.
Wait, your woman's calling you that?
No.
Buddy.
No,
we gotta work those fingers out, man.
Well, because my hand, if Becky puts her hand in mine, it's like just the palm of my hand. Like, she has the smallest.
like a little child.
She's got lady fingers.
Oh my goodness.
So like whenever like she's making something, I'm like, if you're doing like a pinch of seasoning, everything else, I'm like, you got lady fingers.
Do a palm.
Yeah.
A palm of seasoning, please.
That is funny. So you can see all these stories up online. K923Orlando.com. $1,000 minute is up next. 10 trivia questions, 60 seconds on the clock. If you want to play, sign up right now on the K92.3 app.
K92.3, Orlando's #1 for new country. We've got a history too. And it happens to be the type of history of generosity. All right, can we get you all hooked up? Because we've got $1,000, but you have to have what it takes. And when Chloe says something like, okay, the Sistine Chapel, like who did the painted up on top, right? On the dome.
That's Michelangelo?
Yes. Who are the 4 Ninja Turtles? Michelangelo would be one of those two.
Right, yeah.
Right? It could be anything. What type of cereal uses a tiger on the front who says, they're great?
Right.
Michelangelo. I thought that's what we were doing.
Okay, so we have $1,000 minute coming up. Again, 10 trivia questions, 60 seconds on the clock. And I will say one of the questions today, the train that travels through Orlando, you may take it every morning to work. Sometimes it's even open on the weekend. That is a question today if you know what it is.
That's right. Jump on the K923 app. Make sure you get a K923Orlando.com so we can play.
Obi, Chloe, and Slater's $1,000 minute.
K92.3.
All right, y'all give it up for Jera, everybody.
Woo-hoo!
So, Jera, not only did you sign up for the $1,000 minute, but Jera is actually enjoying a trip. Well, you're not on it yet. You're at the airport right now. What is this, for your birthday?
Yeah. Yep.
Where are you going, Miss Jera?
I am just going up to Pensacola to spend a few days on the beach.
Oh,
with
how
my best friend.
nice. I love Pensacola. You have to visit Seville Quarter. It's so fun.
Yes, and the beaches are the prettiest anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
good.
So listen, you enjoy your celebration of another trip around the sun while we try to give you $1,000 so this way you can fund that trip. We got these 10 questions, 60 seconds that Chloe's going to give you.
Miss Jera, whatever you lock in first is the answer we'll have to take. So feel free to pass, and we'll come back to the question at the end.
Okay.
I always feel like birthdays are like the most lucky of times anyway. So we're sending good vibes, and are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right, here we go with question number 1. What is the largest continent?
Asia,
Finish the phrase. Every cloud has a what?
silver lining,
Is the giant panda native to Australia, Japan, or China?
China,
In Jack and the Beanstalk, who says fee fi fo fum?
pass,
How many seconds does a clock tick in half an hour?
1800,
A Reese's candy has what in it?
peanut butter,
In billiards, what color is the 8-ball?
black,
What is the name of the local train that travels around here in Orlando?
bright line,
A dermatologist specializes in what part of the body?
skin,
Name the female lead singer of the Black Eyed Peas.
Fergie,
In Jack and the Beanstalk, who says fee fi fo fum?
Oh, that's your time right there.
Oh, no.
oh,
So the giant is what we were looking for.
that's what I was going to say, but I was like, that's not just his name.
No, that's okay.
And you guessed 1,800 seconds. That's how many ticks there are in half an hour. It's actually 3,600.
There you go.
So 2 of them are wrong. And the Brightline Sunrail. Sunrail is what we were looking for. Brightline will take as well.
Yeah, that would've
'cause
worked, yeah.
That goes through. But there were 2 wrong.
But the local train was the Sunrail.
Unfortunately, $1,000 is not yours. The good news, you do get a really great prize.
You're going to Country Thunder. 3-day passes.
Woo!
That is going to be awesome. You're seeing John Party. Who else is going to be out there? Nate Smith.
Bailey Zimmerman.
Bailey
There's a
Zimmerman.
lot.
And then there is a massive headliner that is going to be announced.
Make sure you're listening. But no matter what, you're going all 3 days. Congratulations on that. And we hope you have a great birthday.
Yeah,
time.
enjoy your beach trip,
Thank
girl.
you.
We're vicariously living through you right now.
Seriously.
The $1,000 minute.
Let's see how you do. Join up on the K82-3 app to play.
Man, now I wish I was on the way to the airport to go take a trip somewhere to the beach.
Yeah, just fly away,
Me
relax.
too. Hey, if you haven't
What a time.
visited Destin, 30A, Pensacola, like that whole
Yeah.
area in the Panhandle, it is absolutely gorgeous.
So good. All right. So what we're doing here is we're helping somebody who's panicking next. And of course, you can always utilize the morning show. I mean, Slater, myself, Chloe, we are available to help out in whatever way we can if you're panicking.
Yes, and our girl doesn't love her man anymore, and it's because of something he can control. The sparks, they have died in this relationship. That panic button is following FGL.
K92-3. Time to hit the panic button with Obie, Chloe, and Slater.
Cheryl, good to be talking to you. So let's talk about your marriage. Is that what you're panicking about?
Yes, I am hardcore panicking about my marriage. Yes.
Okay.
What's happening?
So I've been married for 30 years. And in the beginning, it was wonderful. For the first 20 years, it was wonderful. In the last 10 years, I don't know, my husband has changed completely. He used to be very romantic, and he used to do things for birthdays and anniversaries, and he used to show me that he cared a lot. Mm-hmm. And now, nothing. He hasn't done anything. It's like he stopped caring. That's what it feels like.
And you said you guys have been married for how long?
30 years.
Wow.
Cheryl, do y'all have kids?
We do.
Okay, are they grown or are they still in the house?
No, they're grown.
Okay, so you know what? I mean, I wonder if he just got comfortable. Does he say I love you to you?
He doesn't. Speaking of getting comfortable, it's just he stopped taking care of himself.
Well, he's definitely not cheating on you. We know that, right?
No.
Because
No,
usually,
I
if you went to the
drive him
gym and
away
everything
from
else.
lazy boy.
Right, yeah. He's just hanging out in the lazy boy.
Yeah, I can't pry away from ESPN. And anyway, he doesn't take care of himself at all. Like, he used to be a stud in high school. He used to work out, and now it's like nothing. He like eats all day in front of the TV. His nose hairs coming out of the wazoo. He's like going bald and doing nothing.
So he just is like giving up on himself?
Hey, you're another 10 years away from just staring at him and being like, I hate you.
And also, that nose hair is no joke. It could grow overnight.
Exactly.
Have you tried inspiring him? Meaning, like, to go out on walks or do something that's, I don't know if there's anything worse that if one person in the relationship is on a diet, a lot of times does inspire the other person, because then you're forced to either watch them look better or come along for the ride.
Slater, I think it's so much more than just letting himself go. It's the fact that he's not romantic with her. I mean, she said it. When's the last time she heard I love you?
But when were you romantic with him? Why does it only have to be on the guy?
I try to be romantic with him. That's why I'm freaking out, because, I don't want this to be my marriage for the next 20 to 30 years.
Heck no. I still hear some 80-year-old women at church that they're like, my husband still got it going on.
No.
And you're like, I don't need to know
say that.
All right, so let's see if we can get you some advice, okay?
I want to be in love, and I want to be romantic, and I want to, look after each other.
Okay, let's see if we can get you some advice, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Join the conversation.
844-254-9232. Obie, Chloe, and Slater.
And so Cheryl hit the panic button this morning. She's been married for 30 years. In the past 10 of them, her husband has not been romantic. She's in fear that the romance has completely died, and that's why she's hitting the panic button.
We've been on the line with Mike, and Mike, you said the last thing was that she needs to remember her wedding vows?
Yeah, critical stuff. I think some people just over time forget the vow they made to the other person. And that vow is sickness and health, better or worse, death do you part. If she's having problems with her husband because he's worn down and he's raised kids and he's put in his time, then she's going to have to communicate about it rather than just whine about it.
I don't even think it's whining. I mean, he doesn't even remind her how much he loves her and cares for her. There's no affection.
That sucks. If there's no affection...
He can. I mean, I'm sure there's somewhat of a two-way street here, but I mean, if I were her, this isn't the way I would be going about it. I mean, if he's having an affair with his chair, that's stalled.
Yeah, chair affairs are brutal. What if she gets a negligee, right, to try to like spark him up?
Some lingerie,
and she doesn't have to do it more than once. But then he'll realize, and she can do an ultimatum after a really nice night. She could be like, "Listen, did you like last night? Well."
Yeah,
last night.
Look,
it will be the last night unless you step up.
I mean, there's nothing that he hasn't seen from her at this point. So you might as well just get it all out there.
Wow. Dude, appreciate your advice, Mike.
Yeah.
It's Morgan Wallen, K92.3 Music, right here with Obie, Chloe, Slater. And again, you're probably about 20 minutes away from getting that keyword worth $1,000 as we pay your bills. Now, we're trying to help Cheryl out. She's got an interesting scenario where she's been married for 30 years. The first 10 years, of course, husband going all out for anniversaries and birthdays, just showing different ways of affection. And now here they are, where the last 10 years, he hasn't been doing that. Now, I get it. You've been married for 30 years. That's a good comfort level to be with somebody where their ins and outs, the restaurants that they like to go to, the things that annoy them.
But sure. I think you have to be, again, I'm 27. I'm not married. I'm not even in a relationship. But you have to pray. So I'm like speaking this as if, But I think you do. Like, you have to prioritize your marriage. And I've seen that with my mom and dad. They've been married almost 30 years. And they have always made it a point to make time for the two of them. Whether that was simply going to dinner. I know my brother and I growing up, we'd get a babysitter. They'd go out to dinner on a Friday night. If it's something that they enjoy doing together, like cleaning out the garage or there was all different kinds of things that they made sure to make that time, because life gets busy. And Obie, you said it, like 30 years. I mean, you could start to get very comfortable in your relationship.
Yeah. It's a no-brainer, okay? As you say, you have to prioritize a relationship. You have to prioritize anything you want that's to be great, right? You want to have a great relationship with a kid, prioritize that. You want to do great at your work, prioritize it, right?
Dude, you want a tree to grow fruit, you got to water it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the grass is green where you water it. That's true, right? So maybe if she does the things, because you said, Obie, like, they know each other. They know what they like, blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe she has to remind him, everybody has certain things that work in your relationship. Some people go on a long walk. Some people watch romantic movies together. Something to connect to remind you that, hey, I'm not alone. I'm going through this life. And in only probably another 2 decades, they're going to need each other a lot to take each other to doctor's appointments, everything else as you get older.
For real.
Like that, the final stages, it's like you're just trying to hold each other up, literally.
Yeah. Well, and I do get a little jealous when I see, or not jealous, but I look forward to, like I see these, right now in my head, there's an 80-year-old couple. I don't know how old they are, probably like in their late 70s, early 80s, but they go to church and they still pinch each other on the butt. And I'm like,
and how sweet is that?
That's weird, but it's also super sweet that you're still doing that at that age.
Sexual harassment? I don't know.
And in the house of the Lord. No, okay, who's this?
Yeah, good morning. My name is John.
Hey, everybody, give it up to John.
Hey, John.
All right, man.
As far as the advice for that goes, it happens, unfortunately. Guys get older, we lose hair, stuff like that. I mean, my wife and I, we, take vacations together. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe she can buy some new lingerie.
Yeah, we had suggested that. But now, if the guy's just a straight up dud, man, I mean, I do feel bad for her because every woman, it's not just the women, but everybody wants to feel love and feel the excitement and the heat of love.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know his, work schedule. That might have something to do with it. I'm up at 3 a.m. to go to work, so come 6, 7 o'clock, I'm like ready to pass out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, not all of us do stuff on purpose. Like, he just might be actually in that and be like, listen, I'm getting to relax right now and not think that she actually needs that.
Well, thank you so much for calling in this morning. We appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Yeah, we'll continue to take your calls. My heart breaks for, say you're somebody who you're like, honey, don't you want to go? Let's just go experience the beach. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I hate the sand.
Let's just go for a walk. I don't want to walk.
Let's go experience the Grand Canyon. I hate the airport. I'm like, well, damn it. How do we keep this thing alive?
Oh, maybe she's got to threaten, make up some fake divorce papers, everything else.
Slater always with the deception.
Always.
It's only deception. It's really their threats, right? They're empty threats. I love it. He'll be like, oh, no.
I love you, babe. You better love me back.
Okay.
Obie, Chloe, and Slater want you to win $1,000 as K92.3 pays your bills.
Here's your keyword to send on the K92.3 app right now.
All right, your first opportunity at $1,000. We want you to get used to this because this is going to be for a few weeks where you're going to get this money 5 times a day.
Hopefully you get to chill this weekend. CHILL. Chill is your keyword.
Win $1,000 on the K92.3 app. Now with Morgan Wallen.
It's K92.3, Orlando's #1 for new country. Maybe perhaps your kids are in swim or basketball or volleyball like my kids, where every single one of those sports is costing us out the ears. $1,000 goes a long way.
Yeah, just a keyword. Again, the reminder, chill, CHILL. Put it on the K92.3 app. That way $1,000 can be yours.
Ladies, this second date that's coming up next, it's the most streamed from this week, is proof that men, no matter how old they are, they never grow up. Obie and Slater, I'm also looking at the two of you.
It's the most streamed of the week.
We're youthful.
Okay, that's following Blake Shelton.
K92.3.
2 people, 1 date, 0 texts returned.
Second date update.
Brought to you by attorney Dan Newland. In a wreck, need a check, Google Dan Newland.
Robert over in Winter Springs, if you want, you can go ahead and give us more details about your second date.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. I went out on a date with Millie, and it went really well. Should I give you the details?
Yeah, we love the details. Well, hold on. What were the signs that made you say it went well?
Well, I mean, we laughed. It was pretty fun. I took her to trivia night.
Oh,
but
fun.
I wasn't sure if she was going to be into it. Yeah, but she was, and she was meeting the team. She was even meeting my competitors. She seemed like a fan.
I always love the name Millie. It reminds me of Chloe's dog's name.
That is my pup's name.
I know, that's right.
Hey, Robert, do you think you just said, she was mingling with the team? Was there any other guys that were on the team that maybe she was flirting with?
Oh, bro, imagine if she popped from you to another dude.
Oh.
I'm not the jealous type. So, I mean, maybe she was, but no, I think it seemed like she was having fun.
Wow. Usually that's more of a guy thing, right?
What,
trivia? than the ladies? Are there a lot of ladies that like the trip?
I think it's a mixture of both.
I guess if you're at the brewery, you guys said you did this at the brewery?
Yeah, but I told her from the start, I said, look, if you don't like it, you can leave whenever you want.
Right.
This is sort of my thing, my world, but she seemed like she got into it pretty quick.
Okay, well, thank you for giving us Millie's number. We're going to try to contact her now and see if we can get her story.
All right, thanks.
Hello?
Hello, Millie?
Yeah?
Hey, Millie, I'm Obi. That's Chloe.
Hey,
That's
Millie.
Slater.
Hey, Mel.
So there's three of us. We do the morning show for K92.3. It's our popular station here in town, country.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Hi.
Okay, do you know the morning show?
Yeah, I know the morning show.
Do you know something that we do called the second date update?
Oh, my God.
Millie,
Yeah, I know.
you're on it this morning.
Yeah, Millie.
Oh, my God.
And you went out with a dude named Robert, and we'd love to pair you guys back
Oh, my
up.
God.
He said, Millie, y'all went and did trivia?
Yep. I can't believe I'm sorry. I'm just a little.
No, I
floored
know.
you
It's a
guys are
lot to
calling.
process.
We're usually pretty good about guessing, and we think that maybe somebody tried putting the moves on you in this trivia thing.
Get a little flirty?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
what
it-
happened?
Well, okay. So we met online, and he seemed like a really sweet guy. So we went to a trivia night, which seemed easy and fun, and it was really great until we got there. Apparently, he's a regular. Like, this is his jam. And the name of our team is the Testicle Tuggers.
What?
You chose
You
this?
heard me.
She would not
he
choose
chose
that name.
Wait, you said
Thank you.
Wait a minute. You said that he's a regular there?
Oh, yeah.
So then he knows the system. Like, he knows that choosing names is important.
Oh, yeah. And he thought that was clever.
You think that's an important
Clever.
name? Obi, I hear you laughing.
Well, I mean, I can only imagine because most trivia nights, there's like somebody on a microphone and saying, what team got
Sure.
it? And so they're forced to have to say the name too.
I feel like there's usually an innuendo. There's really just one meaning to that, right?
Yeah. So all night, you've got it. They're yelling, the Testicle Tuggers. Everyone's staring at me.
Right.
I'd go to the bathroom and people would be like making fun of me.
Sure,
and
because you're the lady
saying,
tugger.
"Hey, I'm the lady at this table with the Testicle Tuggers." It was so embarrassing. And I'd go to the bathroom and people would harass me and say, "Tell your boyfriend to relax," because apparently he's really competitive. Like, this is his Olympics.
Right.
It was so embarrassing.
So to you, what? It was just really immature.
It was so immature, and it's kind of his world. I don't think it could be my world.
Did you at least win?
Yes, of course we won.
There you go.
Oh, okay, but hold on. There was something that you just said that it still settles on my heart that you said it's not your world.
Yeah, it just couldn't be
Yeah.
my world. I couldn't.
Okay,
I couldn't have that be my every Thursday night.
So why don't we do
I'm a
this?
testicle tugger, and I got to wear a T-shirt. and
Oh my God, the name is brilliant. So why don't we do this? We've got Robert on the line, and if it's cool, Robert, why don't you come on right now?
I'm here.
Millie, you know how this all works.
Yeah.
Robert,
Robert.
go ahead. I'll let you take over.
I mean, I didn't realize you felt that way. And if you had, I just don't know why you didn't say something about it at the time. Like, we were having fun. We were having some yucks.
Robert, is that always your name? Is this just a known thing that you guys are known as that?
I didn't even make it up. It was my buddy Tom. We were really drunk. But anyway, it stuck. And this is our thing.
it's stuck. Yeah, I just can't have that be my thing. I just think it was just embarrassing, and I don't know.
And Robert, you traditionally dominate at this place?
I dominate because I take this really seriously. But I don't understand. Like, if we were like the Tata Tuggers, would that change something for you?
Oh my gosh.
I don't think Millie would ever choose that name.
It has a different ring, that's for sure.
I think the fact that you don't know is like why we can't go out again.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And at least we got the both of you talking. Robert, I can imagine if that's a place where like everybody knows your name, that's a cool vibe for you. And it's just not her world. And we're glad we got you talking.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Robert.
Thanks,
guys.
It was a great night. Thank you. It really was a story.
Well, next time, call a guy back instead of leaving him hanging.
Second date update.
Did you miss it? Catch the latest drama on the K82-3 app.
Yes, okay, those second date updates as the weekend progresses. I'm sure Testicle Tuggers isn't going to be the number one over the weekend. We always play one on Monday.
Did you really have to say that again?
It's always going to be my favorite.
It'll go down in history. I've never heard anybody be so brazen about choosing a trivia team name.
Okay.
It's no wonder why that's the number one listened to. Anyways, over the weekend, you get an opportunity to listen to all those second dates that we've done throughout the entire week. And then on Monday, we come back with the most streamed of the weekend.
Y'all, I think I got to go to church. I mean, I go to church every Sunday, but I've been feeling real guilty because I've been lying a couple times this week, and I told a pretty big lie yesterday, but it was for my safety. So I want to take you in. It was. I want to take you in on the story, what happened, the stranger that was in my house following Carrie Underwood. Here's All-American Girl.
Tell Jesus that one.
And I really wish we were on more than we are. What I mean is like live, because y'all just missed me hitting that last note that Warren Ziders did. Spot on.
It was nice.
It was so spot on that you
What do you
didn't get a
judges say?
reaction out of Slater or I. Always like, oh, and we didn't make a move. Not a face, nothing.
But that's because you guys see me every day.
That's true.
Like, that's like
Well,
my
yeah.
kids. My kids don't find me impressive at all. Because they see me every day.
That's the whole point of having kids. They knock you down a couple notches. It's impossible. The people that actually have egos that are too high, they just don't have kids.
Okay, so I do want to get to something that Chloe did, which very ballsy in today's time. I think anybody who puts something up on Facebook Marketplace or anything like that, the openness that you're leaving yourself to, right?
It's true.
Good. I'll let you take over.
No, you're right. Especially being a single female. I got a new bed, and so I was selling my old bed, and I'm like, you know what? I've never, ever used Facebook Marketplace before. So I'm like, I'm going to try it out. It's a great place. There's so many gems, and so many people are selling such great things. And so I had a couple different offers. I don't want to say scammed, but on Wednesday night, this sweet lady was supposed to come by and pick up the bed. I undid everything. I gave her the box spring, the mattress, literally everything, the headboard.
It's a lot of work.
Undid it all. It was a lot of work, and had it all ready to go, and she never showed up. She flaked on me. I didn't hear from her, nothing. And so I'm like, all right, well, I'll move on to the next person. And so I'm guilty because I don't like to lie. And I feel bad for doing this, but the gentleman messaged me, said he would come by yesterday later in the evening, and he did. Again, had everything ready to go, but I had told him that my husband and I will meet you downstairs. And so I had one of my really good guy friends come over, and I was like, hey, as we're coming down the elevator with the bed and all the boxing, I'm like, hey, I said you're my husband, so just go with it, okay? I didn't even give him a warning or anything.
Why? Why? You weren't worried about this nice old lady, right?
I wasn't concerned about the lady. No.
But why were you
She ended up-
concerned about the guy?
I just think
It's a dude.
Again, it was
yeah.
a guy.
It's a dude
I
that
don't
you're
know
inviting
anything
over.
about him.
It's your personal space.
Right.
I will say that homie missed out on an opportunity to be like, well, then if we're married, we really have to pull it off. I'm going to need a kiss in front of this guy.
Oh,
You know,
boy.
just so we could play the part.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
boy.
we should lay down on the bed to show which side is which, you know? And then maybe you can lean over and turn off the light, like where the light would be on my side of the bed.
I gotta say, he was a trooper. He's like, what are we doing? I'm like, you're my husband. Just run with it. And then the elevator opened, and he was out there. And I didn't want to invite the guy upstairs into my bedroom.
Sure,
You know, I
sure.
didn't want him to know exactly what apartment I lived in. And so he ended up being a really nice guy, and it all worked itself out. But you know, you never know in the world that we live in.
See, you know what we learned? That's the reason why guys are the ones that do the proposal. Because you just proposed to this guy, your friend, right? We've been like, hey, we're married. It's like, that's why guys have to do a proposal. Because it's just not going to work the other way.
Well, and interesting, just anybody who sells anything online and you have to do the interaction.
Right.
I do not like interaction. Like, I'd rather it be like, hey, I'll leave it at the front door or you can come pick it up, at this time. But
Well, and
you
I didn't have
to
a
interact.
choice because I had to bring it all downstairs for him too. And I'd actually be careful if you do sell stuff in Facebook Marketplace. This is your warning because I did have a few scammers reach out to me and were basically kind of asking me like, "Oh, I'll go ahead and send you the money ahead of time." I don't know. It was like it was sketchy. I knew something was off. So if you are selling stuff in Facebook Marketplace, know that everyone on there is not always who they say they are. So.
Yeah, and Chloe's not married.
And I am not
No,
married. No ring on
Just wanna
my
put it
finger.
out there.
I thought about that too as I'm carrying the bed. I'm like, this guy don't ring on my finger.
Don't you and you Catholics, don't you guys do confessions?
I need to go to confession.
It's going to be there for an hour. Poor priest.
I felt so guilty. So
Priest is
bad.
going to be like, next.
Especially because the
Next.
guy was so nice. So kind.
Okay, well, coming up next, Slater and I were pretty shocked with something that Chloe brought up that is a new trend. It's a new fashion trend. And all I'm going to say is I brought this up to my wife yesterday, and she said, if you talk about this on the air, Obi, you have to be so careful how you present it, okay? Because it has to do with nipples. In 6 minutes.
I'm in.
All right, so Chloe brought up something yesterday on the morning show. Well, it wasn't on the air, but it was within the morning show that she said, "Hey guys, look at this." I am flabbergasted.
There's a new trend that's out there that I don't personally agree with, but I wanted to hear from two males that are in this room and their perspective on what they thought about it.
Yeah, totally awesome. I think it's a totally awesome thing and really genius whoever came up with it, because if women are not paid the exact same amount as men today, they definitely will be tomorrow with this.
With this invention?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
I don't know about that, Slater.
I think it's immoral.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll talk about what this fashion trend is. That even when I brought it up to my daughter and my wife, they said, "You're going to talk about this on the air?"
We are.
So after Luke Combs, we'll talk about it. It's quite a record that dude has with putting out every single song and every single song going out to number one. So that's quite the batting average, right? With number ones.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, it's Obi, Chloe, Slater. We're about to get to what we're talking about here, where Chloe brought this up. It's a new fashion trend. I am going to try my hardest, and I want to just say this just straight from the beginning. Like, I want to give my own little like cautionary journey of this conversation is going to be difficult for me because as a guy, A, as a man, B, as a father of two daughters and the husband of a wife, I just got a lot of emotions in this. So go ahead, Chloe.
So Kim Kardashian, she has a line. It's called Skims. They've got great stuff. So it's undergarments for women. They've got the bras, they've got the undies, they've got the tank tops, they've got all the things. There really is some good stuff on there. And she recently launched a Skims nipple bra. And so if you're like, what is that? So it basically makes you look like you have nipples. And you know, just imagine you put like a tight tank top, right? And that's what you see is the nipples. Like that's the whole purpose of the bra. It's supposed to show
like if a human body was chilly.
Yes, if a human body was cold. Yes, that's exactly what it's supposed to
Cut
look
through
like.
ice.
And
nipples.
so I showed Obi and Slater a photo yesterday just because I wanted their takes on it, just being dads, one, and two, men. How do you feel about this nipple bra?
All right, Slater.
Definitely feel different, from a dad being a man. Two different things. I'm not going to think about my daughter. With that, I'm going to separate it out. I'm going to say this. I think it is completely smart to have this for the type of woman that would actually want to. And all I'm saying is you can get a lot. You girls could get a lot wearing one of these bras, but would you want it from the people that you would get it from? So you probably wouldn't have to pay for any drink the rest of your life. Okay? You could be 150 years old and still, if you're wearing this bra, I'm going to buy you at least the first round.
Because essentially what it is it's a bra that makes you look, and I saw one of these air quotes that said, makes you look like a fresh, cool Friday morning. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be.
That's today?
That literally is today. But okay, so here's what I don't like is what is the purpose, right? Okay, me as a man, you know, when I walk around and see, I can talk about my male body, all right? I'd hate for a Karen out there to be like, Opie's talking about us women. I'm talking about me as a man.
Sure.
Okay? When my nipples are hard, I'm a little uncomfortable because I'm a dude and I'm like, wow, okay, everybody can see these. But this is on purpose to be seen.
And I just don't understand it. Like, I feel like nowadays it's like, what's left to the imagination, and what are you doing as a woman walking out wearing this bra? Like, what are you trying to attract?
What's
like
the
you
intent?
said, Slater, what is your intent? To draw attention? Okay, you're going to draw attention, whether it's negative or it's positive attention. I mean, do you want men to be all over you and coming up to you? And I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Let me say this, because I think it's different. I know what you're saying, Obi. It's different for a guy than a girl as far as that stuff goes. I know women that they will actually wear something so that way if it is cold, that they don't, what do they call it? Nip out, right?
Yeah.
So you're not nipping out on your stuff.
That's what they're called.
Does it make you as a woman feel insecure, Chloe, if you were in that? Like, you would more likely have something to cover it up, right?
Absolutely. But that's me. I'm that person, but I know there are other people who, I mean, this bra's been very successful for Kim Kardashian. A lot of women are purchasing it. Again, she's got a great line of things. I just personally do not align with that. I don't want to show that off.
Sure. And I'm glad it's Kim Kardashian that's doing it and not Reba McEntire. Like, I know Dolly's into a lot of things, but if she's like, I just let my girls show.
Oh, Lord.
It's also not real. Like, it's fake.
It's not. They're not real erect nipples.
But
so what? Essentially, when I brought this up to my wife and my daughter yesterday, my daughter, so she's 13, and so she was like, "Oh yeah, these are all the new craze." And immediately I went into dad mode, and I was like, "If I ever catch you wearing these, like these are, why would you want to wear this, hon? 13 years old. Why would you want to wear this?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I mean, because it's trendy." I'm like, "Well, think about what it does to a dude who is already trying his hardest to just maintain."
Right.
Okay. So now I'm talking about Obi as a man. How about this? Obi as a husband. Okay. Obi as a husband. I am already trying my darndest to be the genuine article in our marriage, right? I want to be there for my wife. Now, let me also use some analogy. Okay. If I'm driving in a car and you've got your high beams on, there's no way I can't look at the high beams, right? Sometimes you're flashed by the high beams and you're like, oh, too much.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what these do to a guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to hear your honest thoughts and opinions, and so I appreciate it.
But they have it for guys. There's underwear that guys have.
No, they do
for
not.
Sure.
With a fake schlong in there?
Not a fake schlonger, but it does have
a package.
It is set in a
You're
way.
You're lying.
I own
way.
2 pair.
I own 2. What?
I got them as a gift, okay? And they only come out for certain occasions. All right? But
I'm done with this conversation.
I'm uncomfortable.
Guys, just stay in it another minute.
No, I'm not.
No, this is HR. This is HR worthy.
We are done. Okay, we're moving on.
It's amazing. It's the technology that they have.
Get out of here, man.
I am uncomfortable, Slater. Which country superstar uses the pet name Tater Tot? Is it A, Luke Bryan, B, Dolly Parton, or C, Reba? The All Access is coming up here.
They feel
in 6
good.
minutes.
Whatever.
At least they didn't say they were different shades.
Oh, they are.
Friends, family, and country music. Starting your day the K92 3-way.
Obie, Chloe, and Slater. Mornings on K92 3.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.